The Toyota Fortuner and Mahindra Scorpio N are being matched up against each other as they both compete in the SUV sector and either come in 2x4 or 4x4 guise. While there are many reviews where these cars are compared against each other, I want to know which one of them is safer. Generally, it's the Fortuner, but you must compare apples with apples. You can't simply take the results from a new car assessment program, NCAP, like Euro NCAP, or the Australasian NCAP, and apply it to your vehicle if you are from Africa or Latin America. NCAPs are region-specific because each region has its own unique set of circumstances. The various NCAPs also have different protocols in terms of which they conduct their tests. Manufacturers also send vehicles with different specifications to the disparate markets, even when those vehicles are manufactured in the same facility. So, the Fortuner and Scorpio N have different specifications depending on where they are being sold. Global NCAP in 2022 awarded the Scorpio N for the Indian market with a 5-star rating for the protection of adult occupants and 3 stars for child occupants. For India, the Scorpio N only had frontal airbags and electronic stability control, ESC, was optional. In the frontal offset test, the protection offered to the chest of both the driver and passenger was rated as marginal. In the side impact pole test, protection to the driver's chest was rated as weak, even though a vehicle fitted with side head protection airbags was being used. The result would, in all probability, be much worse if a vehicle is sold in India with no side head protection airbags was used. The Australasian NCAP, ANCAP, assessed the Scorpio in 2023 and awarded it 0 stars, even though, unlike the global NCAP tested Scorpio N for the Indian market, it was fitted with dual frontal, side chest, and side head airbags as standard. The Scorpio N for the Indian market only had frontal airbags as standard. The ANCAP tested Scorpio offered better protection for the chest of the driver and passenger in the frontal offset test than the Scorpio N for the Indian market. ANCAP also assessed the level of protection offered by the Scorpio for the neck and chest of the 10-year-old dummy and rated it as marginal. In the full-width frontal test, protection for the driver's chest was weak, and for the rear passenger, protection of their head, neck, and chest was poor. In the oblique pole test, protection for the driver's chest was marginal. Whiplash protection for front seat passengers was poor, and for second and third row passengers it was marginal. The ANCAP tested Scorpio only had 7 safety features, and technology ticked out of 48, leading ANCAP in its media release to state that the safety offerings are some generations behind what it sees with almost every new car on sale today. The ANCAP Scorpio's limited safety features are similar to those being offered to the South Africa market for the Scorpio N. Latin NCAP assessed the 2019 Fortuner, which is badged as the SW4 in Latin America. It received 5 stars for both adult and child protection. The Fortuner was equipped with frontal, side head, and body airbags, as well as a knee airbag for the driver. It was only in the pole side test where the side and curtain airbags offered marginal protection to the abdomen and thorax. The Australasian New Car Assessment Program, ANCAP, also awarded the 2019 Fortuner with 5 stars, based on the crash test results of the Hilux utility, as they share the same ladder frame platform. The vehicle was equipped with the same number of airbags as the Latin NCAP Fortuner, but had the following safety tech as standard: autonomous emergency braking, city, interurban, and vulnerable road user, lane keep assist, LKA, lane departure warning, LDW, and an advanced speed assistance system, SAS. The Australasian market only received the top-of-the-range 2.8 diesel 4x4 variant, though. Unlike the Scorpio, there were only 2 assessments that fell within marginal, weak, or poor ratings. One was the whiplash protection test, where protection for the rear passenger's neck was rated as poor, and the other was in the frontal offset test, where protection for the head and neck of the 6-year-old was rated as marginal. The Latin NCAP assessed Fortuner with 7 airbags received 5 stars, even though in the side pole test it offered marginal protection to the abdomen and thorax of the dummy. It's not clear if 7 airbags are offered as standard across the range and in all countries. I would check the number of airbags of the Fortuner I am considering to buy. In addition to the marginal protection recorded in the side pole test, I would also consider that in the best-case scenario, that being the ANCAP-tested Fortuner, whiplash protection for the rear passenger's neck was rated as poor, and that in the frontal offset crash, protection for the head and neck of the 6-year-old was rated as marginal. The 2022 Scorpio N and the 2019 Fortuners supplied to the Latin American, Indian, and South African markets generally have similar safety specifications. However, when one considers the ratings of the respective dummies during the crash tests, the Fortuner outperformed the Scorpio N. This result seems to be supported by ANCAP, where in crash tests the 2019 Fortuner fared much better than the 2022 Scorpio. Even so, the limited safety features offered by the 2022 Scorpio N and the 2019 Fortuner for the Latin American, Indian, and South African markets are some generations behind to what is being offered in first world countries as standard.